Fashion is something we deal with every day. Fashion is a popular aesthetic expression in a certain time and context. Fashion is a state of mind, a spirit, an extension of oneself. Coco Chanel once said, "Fashion is not something that exists in dresses only. Fashion is in the sky, in the street. Fashion has to do with ideas, the way we live, what is happening." It can mean a lot of things to each individual. We ask people what fashion means to them, and there is such a variety of answers. To some, it's a way of expression, a reflection of oneself, a paint of view, while a medium of self-confidence for many. One certain thing in the fashion world is change, and we are constantly being bombarded with new fashion ideas every now and then. As consumers worldwide buy more clothes, the growing market for cheap items and new styles, popularly known as fast fashion, is taking a toll on the environment. The question that arises here is about the waste generated by this industry. So, to know more about people's knowledge and awareness in the same, we asked them whether they knew anything about fashion waste. Imagine being unaware of the waste generated by something so valuable in our lives. But we don't blame anyone. Fashion waste is a very less known and talked about topic. Did you know fashion waste is as dangerous to the oceans as plastic waste? Hear this out. Every second that you're watching this documentary, 7.6 to 10 cubic meters of fabric is being dumped and burned, contributing to the 1.2 barn in greenhouse gas emissions the fashion industry releases each year. Shocking, isn't it? Well, do we have enough of your attention now? Then let us first understand what fashion waste exactly is. Second to oil, the clothing and textile industry is the largest polluter in the world. Fashion waste is of two types. One that is occurred at the time of production of the garment, while the other one that is post-production waste. Around 35% of the materials in the supply chain end up as waste, while 50% end up in landfills. Waste is at the heart of fashion, both the physical act of discarding materials and clothes and the ethos of junking items once out of fashion.
All those things. Pre-consumer waste also consists of damaged textiles. Pre-consumer waste also consists of leftover fabrics which are not used. And the next is the post-consumer waste. Post-consumer waste, the fashion goods, clothes, accessories used by people and then discarded. There are also waste generated in making fashion. One is pre-consumer and post-consumer, and one kind of waste is that which are generated while making this fashion goods. For example, while dyeing, the water is getting polluted. That is the kind of water is getting wasted.
From the growth of water-intensive cotton to the release of untreated dyes into the local water sources, to workers' low wages and poor working conditions, the environmental and social costs involved in textile manufacturing are widespread. So-called fast fashion has ushered a throwaway culture into the clothing business, with items so cheap they have become single-use purchases. Fast fashion makes shopping for clothes more affordable, but it comes with an environmental cost.
One person discards his clothing after 7 to 8 times wears. So once you buy a dress, on an average you will wear 7 times and then discard it. So very good. You will go in the landfill and the land will pollute the environment by land. Also, in producing all this goods, there are a lot of waste generated. For example, oil is used for making polyester fabric, water is used to cotton production. All those things are used as a byproduct of making these things, but are not reusable. Oil and water is gone into the system producing these things, which are not reusable. It's a loss for the industry.
Overall, the fashion industry as a whole is contributing more to climate change than the aeronautical and shipping industries combined. Experts say that if the trends continue, the industry could account for a quarter of the world's carbon budget by 2050. The fashion industry is also the second largest consumer of water worldwide. A 2017 report from the International Union for Conservation of Nature, that is the IUCN, estimated that 35% of all microplastics, which never biodegrade in the ocean, came from the laundering of synthetic textiles like polyester. Brand Bunko Junko, which produces garments all made out of fabric waste.